Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner for my Quick Tip Thursday. Before we get started, let me thank a few people. It has been a while since I have done this, and I feel I really need to. I'm way behind. Um, when I was talking about my leg cramps, Steph B said that if you put a bar of Irish Spring soap underneath your sheet, it might help. Terry from Rankin Studios is from Alabama. Susan told me about either taking mustard or pickle juice, and I do use pickle juice for my leg cramps. Amy suggested maybe using compression socks. Then on my coffee dye paper video, another lady suggested maybe adding vanilla to the coffee. Lynn from Lynn's Altered Arts, she is also a bird watcher. This person here is from Argentina. Donna is from Tucson. This person here, Canadian 693, she's a new subby. She's from Alberta, Canada. Jan is from North Georgia Mountains. Jen is a new subby. Paper Pathways, a new subby. Tina, a new subby. Linda's from Ontario, Canada. Renee is also a new subby. Carol's a new subby. This person here is from South Africa. And this person here is from California. Thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate it. And I feel bad that I haven't mentioned that in a while, but I don't know, I forgot. So in today's video, Quick Tip Thursday, episode number 77, I thought I would show you a new and really pretty way to add a belly band to a page. Now I've got this digital here. It is from Rach and Bella Craft. I just recently went over and purchased this kit. It was very English looking, English garden manor kind of a thing. It's called Whisper of Manor or something like that. But I thought this would be pretty to add a belly band, and especially to this side here that I printed off with just kind of a plain paper. So what you are going to need is a piece of paper that has the image on both sides. And I think that the Florentine paper is one of the best options for that. The other thing you're going to need is a punch. I've got two of them here. Punches that are like tag toppers. And these are Stampin' Up ones. But I did go online to Amazon and I found one that is very similar to this one. But the one on Amazon was actually even better. This one only goes to 2 inches, and the one from Amazon goes, I think it's 1.5, 2 inch, and 2.5. So it's actually a better one. I think it was like $15 or something like that. It is in the description box under tools if you're interested in getting the Amazon one. So you're going to need that. And let's just pull some Florentine paper out, and I thought I would use my Florentine paper that's in my shop, and I thought blues might look nice. This is one that would be nice. Let's see, what other blues do I have? Don't forget, I have a mega pack of Florentine paper. I think it's 32 different designs of Florentine paper from Florence, Italy. I know one lady had ordered it, and then when she got it, she goes, it actually says it's from Italy on the paper. And I'm thinking, yes, I told you, I mean, ooh, that was going to sound like a smart aleck. I'm sorry, you guys, but when I say Florentine paper from Florence, Italy, yes, it's from Italy. So I think that would look nice. Maybe she thought I was not telling the truth. I don't know, but yes, it's beautiful paper. It just it lends itself to this kind of an idea. I think it's better to have a design that is kind of all over. That may just be the one we're going to use. Oh, here's another one with some blue in here, and it's got a little bit of it's got some oranges in there too. Oh, here, this is blue too, and this has got some blue here. Let's pull this out too. Yeah, this one I don't think is the best one for it, because if it doesn't line up exactly, it may not look as good. Let's see, because we'll just do a couple. Then I'll have them on hand for other pages. Let's see. Oh, this would be pretty with the peacock feathers. Even that would be pretty. But I'm going to go with the ones with just a lot of blue in them. I think that's going to get us started. Ooh, oh, that's pretty too. I'm going to pull that out. That's one of my favorites also. Okay. I think I got that one already. Do I? I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, it's underneath here. It's the same one. I try to keep them all, the same papers, the same design in the package close together, so that I don't pull out a big sheet if I don't need it. Okay, so that's the ones we're going to use, these here. And I'm going to start off with this small one here. And so what you're going to need to do is fold it in half. And what I'm going to do is also, just because I don't need this big of a piece for this project, I need a different paper trimmer. Let's go over here. And actually, if I, let's see, we're going to do that because we want it to at least be 2 inches. And then once I glue this down, it will be 2 inches. So then you're going to fold it in half because you want the decorative side to be on both sides of the topper for the belly band. So what we're going to do is just fold them in half. I hope everyone is doing well. I just finished making my sweet Miss Fiona more food. That's my dog, if you guys don't know. I'm leaving soon to go to Paris, and I need to make sure that there is plenty of food here for my son to feed her. Then the next thing I'm going to do is just take some Beacon's 3-in-1 glue. I like the Beacon's 3-in-1 glue because it is solvent-based, not water-based. A water-based glue is going to warp your paper, and already Florentine paper is thinner than other papers, so you don't want your paper to be warped. So I'm going to glue these together. And then the next thing I'm going to do is let these dry for just a little bit, because I don't want the glue, if it's wet, to gum up my punch. So I'm just going to set these aside and let them dry a little bit. Now you could use something like a digital kit if you don't have Florentine paper, but I still recommend that you fold it over and double it because you want these to be pretty sturdy. Now the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to cut these to 2 inches in width. And the reason I cut off the ends is just in case I didn't get glue all the way to the end. If I got it like to here, then if I cut that off, it will be glued down. So I'm going to trim off each of these just a little bit. Off of each, the top and bottom, and then trim down to 2 inches. This is, I think what I'm going to do is, this is really big, this piece. I will save this for some other topper. It wouldn't fit in this cutter, so I don't need it to be as long as it was. So once again, I'm going to cut each one of these to 2 inches in width. Your next step is going to punch both ends of your paper. And sometimes this one gets caught here. It probably needs to be sharpened. If I can get that out, yeah. So both ends. Sometimes, oh, that one kind of shredded it. Yes, this punch probably needs to be sharpened. I can just come in with a pair of scissors and trim that off. I did it again. I moved it. You know what? Let's put this one aside. I have another one. Let's see how this one works. It's the same. It's 2 inches. Oh yeah, that one's much better. Okay. Then what you're going to do is fold them in half, because we're going to want these to be the same size. So if you fold them in half, and I'm going to come in here with my bone folder. So let's just kind of mass make these. Fold them in half. Okay, so now they're folded in half. The next step is to cut them in half so that you have 2 equal pieces. And by folding them in half and then cutting them, both of these pieces are exactly the same size. So it doesn't really matter how much you cut off. You just want to cut them in half, and because they're the same up here, they will be the same size. This one's going to be tinier, but that's all right. Some of them are bigger than others. Okay, so now they're all the same size. Next is you want to score this end. And I think 1/2 inch is pretty good. So I'm going to score them, and that way, again, if you lay them in your scoreboard and score at 1/2 inch, when they fold over, they will all, as I was scoring this, I don't know if it scored correctly. Yeah, it did. As you fold these areas where you scored them, again, then they will all be the exact same size. I'm going to score this at 3/8 of an inch as opposed to 1/2 inch, just because they're shorter. But the other ones, I'm doing 1/2 inch. I wonder if I do it this way. No. I'm trying to figure out a best way to hold them, but 1/2 inch, we're going to score each one. Butt them up against there. And then the next thing is I want to round these corners off. And so I'm just going to bring in a corner rounder, and I think I'm going to use the smallest one. So round those off. The next thing you're going to do is fold them where you scored them. Fold them over, because that is where you're going to glue them to your page. Now, I'm not going to fold them all over right now, just because I want to look to see which one I want to add to that page I showed you. So let's just set these aside, and let's bring in our page, and let's see which ones look the best. So one will go over the top and one will go over the bottom. That looks pretty. I don't think we can go wrong with any of them. I really don't. But let's also look and see what this looks like over here. Okay, we've got a little bit of yellow there. That would be really good. I think they're all going to be good. Set that off. I don't really care for that one. I don't think I want orange in here. So I'm going to put those for another day, another project. This has a little bit of the orange. Okay, it's between these three. Let's save the peacocks for another one. Let's just use this one. I like that one. So then all you need to do is glue them to both sides of your page. And let's bring in once again our Beacons 3-in-1 glue and add a little bit to the back. And then the neat thing is you're going to see it also on the other side. And you want them to be even there. First one doesn't matter as much as this one. I think that's even, okay? Just want that to hold down. And so then when you turn it over, you see a little bit of that Florentine paper on this side. Isn't that pretty? Now the next thing we're going to do is pull in some seam binding to tie this. I pulled together some seam binding. I've got some blues, but I think the blue is just too predictable. So I'm going to say no to the blue. The other option is, do you see how it's got almost a little bit of an orange or a red in there? And I like those. I get my seam binding from Scrap Cabin Shop off of Etsy. She's got beautiful seam binding and tons of color. I like this. I think I'm going to use this one. So all you need to do is then thread some of your seam binding through each of the little loops. And again, this is why you want your paper, this, to be double, because you need it to be substantial and not tear. So that's why I like folding it over and having it double. So let's turn, if I turn it like this, let's see if we can do this before I cut it. So all you do is tie a knot. That's going to work perfect. And then we can cut it afterwards to see how long we want it. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah. Isn't that cool? You could tie anything for this part. And then you have a big area for tucking things in. One thing I thought we might tuck in is some documents. So let's fold these up and see how that looks. So see how that can go in there. And then you can even add a second one because we've got more than enough room. That looks nice. The other thing is I thought about this, one of these tri-fold journaling cards. That would also look pretty. And it's kind of nice that the image pokes out there. Let's add this too. We're just going to do both. I don't think we can do all three, but that looks good. I like that. So anyway, that is my quick tip Thursday. A new way to make a belly band that is wide enough to hold quite a few things. And then even on the other side, you've got a little bit of the Florentine paper. Thank you so much for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner, and I will see you guys again soon. Thanks, and bye-bye.